Anyway. Commander Shepard is the best protagonist possible for Mass Effect, and not just because of the indomitable human spirit or the Paragon or the Renegade choices. In fact, any of the origins that you choose for your Shepard is pretty much irrelevant. Why? Because they're a freaking N7. Today we're going to be talking about the N7 program, the difference between N1 and N7, and their history. Let's get into it.
That it?
What?
Vasir, I let the Destiny Ascension die with 10,000 people on board, including the Council. I unleashed the Rachni on the galaxy. So for your sake, I hope your escape plan doesn't hinge on me hesitating to shoot a damn hostage.
So the first question to answer regarding the N7 program is, what is the N? What is the N program? And to answer our question, we first have to take a step back and look at the First Contact War. The humans were completely steamrolled by the Turians. Now, that wasn't their fault, or I should say it wasn't our fault. We were very inexperienced. The Alliance fleet, navy, military apparatus as a whole had not been put together yet.
Ships, prepare for jump to hyperspace.
After the First Contact War, humanity had to unite, and we created the Alliance fleet. This was the first time humanity would ever come together and create one military, one government, and one military apparatus. And part of that solution to the question of what will we do when we face other alien militaries was the N program.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit!
What's important to understand about the N program is that they are a one-size-fits-all, jack-of-all-trades, master of none. In modern military, we have the Green Berets, we have the SAS, we have the GIGN, we have many different organizations to handle maritime, raiding, direct action, hostage rescue, and for the N program, they cover everything, right? They cover asymmetrical warfare, guerrilla warfare, force multiplication, surveillance, reconnoitering. They do everything. In order to create a force that can do everything, the training, just the training to become an N7 is insane. So how does someone become an N7? Well, first of all, you have to go through the N program. So N1 through N6, this is where you go to Arcturus Station, and you have to go through this extremely long pipeline. And it's important to note that the attrition rate for the N program is diabolical. So when we see the N7, it's important to understand that they have to first make it through N1 through N6. And just to get to the N1 candidate process, you have to already be on top of your game, whether it's a pilot, a Marine, a logistical person, anyone can do it. It's just like modern special forces. Anyone can sign up to become an N7, but once you get inside that candidate program, it becomes extremely more progressively difficult. For example, N1 program starts on Earth, N2 you start going to Arcturus Station, you start doing the live fire, and when I mentioned earlier that they are jack of all trades, I meant it. They train in everything. Congratulations, you decided to join Special Forces in the Mass Effect universe, and you wanted to do something more. And this is where you get into the N program, you made it through N1, N2, N3, N4, N5, and then you have the culminate of the final test on Arcturus Station. And this is the hardest test for any human in the Alliance military. The culminating event of the N program training process takes place on Arcturus Station. It's a live fire exercise, and what they do is they take everything you've learned. So force multiplication, right? They give you a squad of normal Marines or normal soldiers, and you have to lead them through this obstacle course, and you have to overcome all these made-up situations that are very realistic. You have to do hostage rescue. They again, all of this is with actors. The lore behind this is insane because it's almost whoever advised BioWare on the M program really knew what they're talking about. Hopefully it was an Agile ODA, Green Beret, Navy SEAL, because the training is very realistic to modern selection courses. So what happens when you actually graduate? So congratulations, you have graduated the N6 phase. You are now officially an N7. It's important to understand that when you're an N7, right, you are effectively the highest rank in the Alliance fleet, shy of like an admiral. But this is where the water gets a little murky regarding the chain of command, because again, we have gunnery sergeants, we have captains, commanders, admirals, generals, XYZ, and the Alliance fleet within the Mass Effect universe has a very similar command structure to modern militaries in today's world. The N7 though is different. They're outside of all of that. So already Shepard is pretty much outside the jurisdiction of most regular chains of command. Now that being said, that he or she still has to listen to fleet admirals. It's the same thing in real life, right? A Delta Force operator might have command agency within the battlefield, but he still has to answer to a 4-star general, right? It's the same thing goes to the N7. But that's why the N7 is so important to me personally, because it's not just a rank, it's not just a title. It shows that Shepard went through everything. They climbed that pinnacle. They went across that mountaintop. They already, in Mass Effect 1, just seeing Shepard and that N7 armor shows they are one of the most elite soldiers in the human military. It is a huge achievement to become an N7. And then of course Shepard goes on to get air-linked with the Prometheans, and we see Saren and Harbinger, and then we go on to the Collectors and the Reapers. But one of the tragedies, I would say, of the Mass Effect games is that the previous achievements of Shepard gets overshadowed, right, by our war with the Collectors and the Reapers. And it's important to note, when you see the N7 in this universe, you gotta understand, already just wearing that N7, you are showing you are one of the most elite human soldiers in the galaxy. What do you think? This has been Simon. Welcome to the Soapbox. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe and share. I post one long form a week as well as shorts every day about anything sci-fi. I cover Star Wars, Halo, Warhammer, and Mass Effect. Let me know down below.